Amani channel here, and a question that we've gotten oh so often is, where can I find affordable music tracks? Where can I find music to use with my videos? And so we decided to create something special for you. This is a mini course, a free mini course on web video chefs that is going to go into everything you need to know to get started, to find tracks, to edit your tracks, and to make your videos magnifique, because music really has a special way of resonating with your audience. It can really cause people to act. It can create an emotional connection. So I'm calling this course Move Your Viewers with Awesome Music. Alright, and it's basically going to be broken up into a few different sections here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, Alright, so by now, hopefully you know who I am. My name is Amani Channel. I'm the co-founder of videochefs.com. I'm a creative services writer and producer. I work at a TV station in Atlanta, Georgia, so I am a broadcaster. I'm an award-winning producer, and I've also served as a media professor. And you know, I got my origins in video production in the journalism field, so I used to be a broadcast journalist many moons back, but now not so much. Or you can find me all over the internet under Amani, at Amani Channel, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Pretty much I'm at Amani Channel everywhere. You can Google search me if you just want to learn more about my background. Alright, but we are here to talk about music. Alright, so this is a free music mini course, and the first question that we're going to cover is, why would you even want to use music with your videos? Alright, so that's what this video is going to get into, is why music. Alright, the next video, this is a 3-part course. The next section is going to be where to find music tracks. So it's going to go over some free, royalty-free sources that are online, as well as a couple of premium sources. But the good news is that all of these are quite affordable. And the last part of this course is going to get into editing and mixing, because of course if you're creating a video, you're going to want to do some editing, you want to do some mixing to make sure the audio levels are correct. And I'm going to show you how to do that using 3 different programs, 3 different awesome and affordable programs: iMovie, which is free to Mac users, Final Cut Pro 10, and ScreenFlow. I probably should have put ScreenFlow second, because ScreenFlow is an awesome program that allows you to create videos like this one. You can screen record with it, you can create video slideshows with it. You can also edit video, you can chroma key, and there's all sorts of cool features that ScreenFlow has with it. And then a Final Cut Pro 10, which is a more professional video editor, but you know, a lot of YouTubers are using Final Cut Pro 10 these days because it is quite affordable and it is very robust and has many professional features. Alright, and then if you finish the course, I have an awesome special reward. You know, one question you might be asking is, how much can I expect to pay for a royalty-free music track? And it really depends, but you know, I'm going to reward you with something awesome at the end of this video series, or at the end of this course, if you make it to the end. So I'd encourage you to stick around, watch videos 2 and 3, because you won't be disappointed. My goal is to add tremendous value and to help you rock out your videos. That's what we always try to do here at Web Video Chefs. And as we get into this, just remember, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, you can always email us at ask@webvideochefs.com. Alright, so part 1, videos, why use music in your videos? You know, it's a great question. If you ever watched a suspense thriller, or you know, when I was creating this course, I was thinking about like Star Wars, and my son was always humming the dun 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 dun. I mean, that song just resonates with him. He just carried that song, and when I'm like, Devin, you're with the dark side. No, I'm not with the dark side, but you know, that song creates a certain emotional feel when you hear certain tunes. All right. And that really is the power of music. Music can make us smile or cry, bring memories rushing back, and even inspire us to buy a product. You know, there is a chemical reaction that happens in the brain when music makes you feel, that causes music to make you feel good. And so this particular quote was found at Nielsen.com. It was really some research that they did on how music positively causes reactions with advertisers. So how music can help increase sales and creates other intrinsic value in advertising. Right. So there's the link to the article if you want to read more about that. But you know, we're not necessarily talking about advertising. We're talking about videos in general. You may be creating just YouTubes. You may be a comedic vlogger, or you may want to do some sort of reviews or something. But you know, music can play an important role in whatever you're trying to do. At the end of the day, music can make them feel, and it will make you feel. So think back to your teenage years when you're in high school. I'm a little bit older than the average YouTuber these days, probably, but there's certain songs that there's that song, what, Endless Love, right? I mean, I don't know that it necessarily brings a strong emotional feel for me, but that's one of those songs where for certain people that were raised in the 80s, that song usually brings back some sort of memory of your teenage years. And there are numerous songs like that, but songs can make you feel something. When I hear certain music, it can take you right back to that moment when you heard the music, or how you felt, that crush, that puppy love. And so that is really the power of music, is that it can it can elicit an emotional response. If you're watching a horror suspense movie, there's always some sort of dramatic music that will have you clutching your pillow, maybe having some sort of fearful response. Or if you're watching some sort of comedy, there may be some music that makes you smile because it makes you feel good. Really, music can do all those things. It can make you feel good. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel happy. It can make you feel glad. It can make you feel romantic. It can make you feel love. It can make you feel passionate. It can do all of those things, and that's really the power of music. And you can harness some of that power in the music tracks that you select for your video. So that's what we're here to talk about in this course. All right, so remember, music sets the tone. In general, you want to choose upbeat music, but it really depends upon what the message is that you're communicating. But there are some things you wanted to avoid always. You probably want to avoid music that has heavy lyrics. So look for those instrumental tracks rather than music with heavy lyrics, especially if you're going to do any speaking in your video. You don't want those lyrics to compete with you talking, with your talking. Anything that's really distracting. So there may be some music that has I've heard tracks that have like a siren or a horn or something that's very distinctive. You may want to avoid that. And you may want to also avoid music beats that are very jarring. So, it's subjective in some sort of way as well, because what's music to one person may not be music to another. But in general, if when you're listening to a track and you're trying to mesh it with your beat or sync it with your video, if it doesn't feel like a good compliment, or if they're not complimentary, you probably want to keep looking for another track. All right. And so those are just some general rule of thumb rules to go by. But, you definitely want to find a beat that matches the mood that you're trying to elicit, or complements your music, all right? Complements your video. All right, so there are some steps when it comes to adding music to your video. The first thing you want to do is find a royalty-free source, all right? Once you found that source, this is something that I do. I will usually download 3 to 5 tracks that I sort of feel in my gut that sort of match the tone of my video. All right, why do I say 3 to 5 tracks? You probably only need 1, maybe 2 tracks, but you need to have a variety, because you're going to want to sort of sample them, kind of play with the music tracks. Something may work better than another one. And generally, just downloading 1 track may not be enough in general, though there have been times where I find the first one I download, or one of the tracks that I download, ends up being the one that I end up using. And then you want to bring the audio or the music track into your nonlinear editing program. Then once you do that, you want to, of course, add the video to the music to the timeline, to the sequence. And then you want to mix and sweeten the audio, which basically means adjust the levels so that the music track does not compete with any sort of vocals or your talking. And then you're good to go. So those are the basic steps, all right? Now, this is a big don't, all right? Don't use copyrighted tracks. Don't use copyrighted music. Don't use secular music. We're in the internet age, the digital era. It's kind of like the Wild Wild West, but it's a general great rule of thumb not to use copyrighted tracks. Consult with your lawyer first and foremost. But, if someone else owns the rights to the music, you don't want to steal somebody else's music track, all right? It's just not a good idea. There are certain ways in which you can request a music track. Most secular music is not going to be accessible to you, because the budget or the money that you'll need to get that music cleared, or permission from the copyright holder, is probably way more significant than your budget will allow. A lot of times, you'll hear on commercials, commercials will often use secular tracks, or they'll use some sort of music track that people can relate to, because they're trying to create that nostalgia sometimes. And so when you hear a song that you remember, you relate to it, that may help help you with your buying process, help the commercial become more persuasive when there's something in there like a music track that you can relate to. But in general, it can be quite costly to get that music cleared. So stay away from copyrighted tracks. I'll say first always that you want to use royalty-free tracks, and some of these royalty-free tracks are actually free. Some of them are not so much free, but certainly if you hang out with us till the end, you're going to be happy. I guarantee it. All right. So that is basically the nitty-gritty of why you should use music. Hopefully this was convincing and has convinced you to use music in some sort of way. Hopefully the music that you're listening to or have listened to as part of this first video has illustrated why music is so important. Alright, so what is next? Alright, so part 2, we're going to look into where to find tracks. I'm just going to share 3 sources. There are plenty of others out there, but I'm going to share 3 sources. One of them is a free source, 2 of them are premium sources. One of them is a source that we primarily use here with Video Chefs. The next one, we're going to get into editing and mixing using iMovie, Final Cut Pro 10, and ScreenFlow. And if you make it to the end, I'm just going to remind you we have something awesome for you, so you definitely want to stick around. And then there's going to be an archive of all the information. I'm just going to share this with you now at webvideochefs.com/music. All right. So I really hope this was really helpful. It's kind of got your wheels spinning in terms of what kind of music tracks you should or shouldn't use. We're going to get into where to find the music next, which is going to hopefully help you understand that it's easier probably than you think to find music, and then it's easier than you think to mix the music or to add the music to your videos as well. But remember, you want to create that emotional response. You want to complement your video with the music track, and you want to have fun. You want to make your video fun, all right, especially, or informative if nothing else, all right? So hopefully this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in video 2, where we're going to get into where to find your music tracks, all right? So thanks so much. If you have any questions, though, you can always email me at ask@webvideochefs.com. This is a Monty channel. Peace.